Most welcome. Most
Thank you.
welcome.
Last time we had an interview at FilmWise. Now please give us an update on Affinity.
Sure. So that FilmWise was about a month ago, and then right now it's early July. We have a couple of other milestones that we have achieved. So maybe let me go through a few of them. One is that we have already gotten very close relationships, and eventually the contract is going to come to our court. We are working with one of the biggest Korean cosmetic brand. They are pretty popular in China, in Korea, and other parts of Southeast Asia. So the main thing that we are trying to solve is how to curb fake products, because for them to be able to survive in the market and do very well, they need a lot of support from the community. So our value proposition to them to counter fake products is that they use Lifinity technology. So another three things. So one, we will have a Lifinity mark. Two, we will have a very unique code where they can only use it once. And then three, we will tokenize some of these program and then give them incentive. So how does it work? Users who bought the products, they can scan online to check where is the expiry date, check where's the production date, where it's manufactured, who are the logistics provider, and so forth. So these things are all on our chain. After which, the user will then verify again and check whether this product is sold or unsold. If it's sold, then they will be thinking, oh, there's a possibility that this product is fake. If it's unsold, they will carry on to the next process where they scan and then they tokenize. So they get the token while scanning. So this become a very good ecosystem for the current value chain.
Okay.
Why is it so? It's because we realize that a lot of conventional or traditional systems do not really incentivize. So we incentivize them in a different manner, hoping them to get more benefits out from it, and then also ensuring them that the products are real, very real. So these are the things that we are doing. This project would be at least 3 to 6 months. We will find out a lot more on how the whole industry is like, what are some of the pain points that they have. Then we zoom into helping them reduce cost, and of course increase productivity.
Right.
So how this thing works is this: if you remove all the fake goods in the market, or most of the fake goods in the market, it urges all the employee or all the workers to produce more, to fight for a bigger market and so forth. That increases the productivity, and then it decreases their expenses, because it's a win-win thing. When you decrease the expenses, increase the revenue, the company and everyone will feel a lot better. So that is the thing that we are trying to do with the Korean market. It's not easy, but we are quite blessed. We have actually more than one cosmetic company who approach us. So this will be our first collaboration, and I hope that this will be a very long drawn one. That is one. The second update that we have is that we are already talking to coffee plantations. We look at the full supply chain. I would like to say that in my earlier presentations, I talk about how we track products from raw material, to factory, to the logistics, the warehousing, and so forth and so on. So we think that coffee bean is one of the best thing to do, for a blockchain project, because as you know, coffee is a commodity. It goes everywhere in the world. So we start off by tracing the raw material, and then as it goes and so forth, we trace all the way to the cafe. And of course, apart from the cafe, we talk about packet beans, packet powder. So this is going worldwide. So this is another initiative that we have. We have identified a few countries that we can work with directly with the plantations. and with the plantation owners working hand in hand with us, the whole blockchain process will be a lot easier. And that would be something pretty fun for us. My team is looking forward to the whole project, how we start this and so forth. And with that, we also hope that we will enter into a different market. Example, I like to quote this example, East Timor. So East Timor is a very resourceful country, resource rich. So what we like to do is that if we can work with them on the coffee, what we want to do is that we want to help the government to start a certain standard. All these products that are flowing out of East Timor is been marked and is with the Infinity technology. So they will be very proud of what they have, and they are making the country proud because you are taking a step further by putting blockchain into your whole country exports, and that's going to give the country more visibility and of course more revenue.
So Infinity really acts as a standard.
Yeah, this is what we want
well.
to achieve. So we call it like an Infinity mark. It's not officially launched, but it's definitely going to happen. It's either end of July or latest by end August. That's something that we will launch, and we will pilot trial a few other projects, and that's very exciting actually. A few other things is we have some talks last night. The response is pretty good. We had industrial people coming to us saying that, hey, can you let us know more about Infinity and how we could work together? So these are some very good fruits that we get out from our own talk. Although we are reaching out to the community, but we realize that as community investors, they want to know more about a coin. They have a day job as well, So that interests them, and that gets us very excited because if we can meet up with some of the bigger Japanese corporations, that is again putting us onto another milestone that we want to achieve. Apart from us in Korea, in Singapore, in Japan will be our very next move. So we really want to do that. So that is something very exciting.
Is there a field of, because there's a lot of companies, cosmetics to coffees, what kind of genre are you looking for Japan market?
It really depends. It really depends. It could be pharmaceutical. It could be technology. Now, I had the honor to meet up with a Secretary General of a productivity association. It's not an association. It's more like a federation. Where they talk about inter-country productivity levels and so forth. So I hope in Japan, where the government is very pro technology, they are very pro productivity, pro standards. We could work alongside with them. There isn't a need to say that we work with Infinity, but I hope that we contribute knowledge to this to this country, and hopefully it will be a win-win for all of us. Let's not talk about dollar and cents. At least on the knowledge sharing part, that's something very useful. So apart from Japan today, we are also going to a few other countries. Later on, we are flying to Taipei, and then we will go to Beijing mid of July, then Shenzhen, and then back to Singapore again. Singapore, we have an event called Block Space Asia, where we are the co-organizer. We talk about the active community in Singapore, and then we will try our very best to find as many partners as possible to work together with us. So during the event itself, we will have at least one MOU, and then we have a round table with industrial players, and also possibly governmental people. So that's Singapore, and then the Infinity talk that you have attended yesterday, we are going to do one in London, 30th of August, London, if you are around. That would be something exciting. It's something very exciting. We are crossing a few continents, and UK is where we are heading to, and most likely US as well. We have already some good collaborations that is coming up. A very new but developed player in the logistics industry, covering the west coast of the US.
Wow.
So that portion we have to work very closely. So our ultimate, not ultimate, maybe our short-term ultimate goal is that we want goods to flow from perhaps China, all the way to US and all the way to the consumer's hands, and we want to track it. So that's something very exciting, and we are very happy that we are embarking on this route. Hopefully by end of this year or early next year, we could even touch on how we could do the recycling portion of the whole supply chain. That's something different, because when we talk about raw material all the way to the consumer hands, that is only one process. But can you track when the consumer actually finish the product? So perhaps the recycling portion can come in place.
That's very interesting.
So we could track where are the trash going to, when they really finish the product.
And now you're going to help the environment.
We hope so. We want to create a sustainable business and also a more sustainable environment for the world.
Wow.
But it's a big vision. We have to take steps to reach there. It's going to take a while. But we are definitely driving to the right direction. So
I think so.
I'm very happy to see all of you again. Actually.
Very exciting. Thank
It
you
is.
very much.
Looking forward to the event later. A lot new things to share. So I hope that we bring more knowledge to places that we go to.
Definitely.
So happy
And
to
keep
see
us
you.
updated.
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you more updates, in time to come.
What's an example on Korean cosmetics?
Sure. In Korean cosmetic, they are pretty advanced in their value proposition, in their sales, in their brand. Some of the bigger ones that we are already talking to, they are already spending a lot of money to stop fake products. So they have their own anti-counterfeit systems. They have their own way to reduce fake goods that is in the market. So I give you an example. If today they spend $5 to authenticate the product, so they have dual QR code, that's already in the market. They have to peel off the first hologram sticker, and then they scan, and they go online. They have some WeChat verification or WhatsApp verification or phone verification. The whole process itself is quite long and it's very tedious. And the worst part is people can still change some of the information. They can come up with their own QR code. They can, as long as there's profit to be made and the brand is popular, people will do that. So when people look at this aspect, they realize a few things. One is the brand is very popular, it's making huge sales every month. They find that, hey, it's time for us to do some fake ones. So they will do the fake ones. So in order to stop all these fake guys in the market, they possibly spending $5, example, just hypothetically, $5. But what we can offer is a quicker solution, a very fast way to implement as compared to what they have, and possibly they are only paying $1. So it's only 1/5 of what they are paying right now. So if you look at reducing costs, that is already giving them more money to manage, which means they can use more money for marketing, more money for research, and so forth. So that is the point that we are trying to solve. It's not difficult. Like a lot of all these blockchain projects, they talk about transparency, traceability. I think Annie, you have heard so many of this. But all these things are the same. What we can do in terms of the difference is how you organize the whole user experience. That's one. Two will be how you organize the data at the back end. How these things can be shortened, this thing can be fast. So these are the things that we are trying to solve.
Right.
And it's not a very fast process for us to do that. But in about 2 months' time, or at max about 3 months, this thing will be rolled out. And if we can roll this out, it really help the Korean cosmetic industry, and at the same time, it's also a very good case study for us. Although it's a very small part of it, what we want to do is that after the authentication and so forth, they know that it's a real product, they feel safe to use. The next step that we are going to do is that we will put them on our chain to go through the whole logistics process. Like the one I've mentioned, they can go to US, their products can go to US, and then we have a big batch of trial, whether it's by ship or by air or by something else, we just get it work. So we want real commercialized projects. We want to really sit down with brands, whether it's big or small, to look at how best we can help them. Perhaps another question that you can ask is that is blockchain technology targeted at the big players, the bigger MNCs or the bigger brands? I think no. To be very frank, bigger brands has got very bad legacy issues. They could be using a very branded software, and they are very reluctant to change because they could have spent millions or tens of thousands on it. They are not going to change. So I would like to say is SMEs, smaller companies, should rely on technology for their growth. They are faster, more nimble. They are more active and more open to changes. And with the technology there, they could actually use this as a competitive advantage when they talk to the bigger players. Then that is going to be a very good selling point for them. And in time to come, they could use the technology to scale their business faster, and then use the technology to scale their business away from just their hometown. That is what blockchain can do for them, and looking forward to meet more of them at events, at networking sessions. I really hope we could sit down and talk it out. It's again, I mentioned that in review before. There's always an R&D phase, and we are very patient. We have new members coming on board who are handling the product side, and then we just had someone joining us from the States. He's looking at how the project and how the development work, how they gel with the business side of things and with the technology side of things. And when these two things marry together, it's going to be a very big thing for us. So again, we are looking for talents. We are looking for good projects.
How big is your team now?
It's not big. It's not very big. To be frank, if you add the rest of the technology guys together, possibly we have about 60. Yeah, but it's going to be an uphill task. Technology portion got to be ramped up. New partners should come on board. And again, finding good partners are not easy. We want to find partners that can grow together with us and not just talk about technology and then dollar and cents and then that's it. We want to create a more sustainable business environment. So if we want to work it fast, when the different modules come on board, we have to gel this to our current base technology. So we need very, very, very good and fast partners, and that is going to quicken the whole process of going through the whole total supply chain. So that's something fun. We are doing it every day. We hope to meet new and more exciting people every day.